The title of this conference is The Symbolism of the Mass. I would like to give you a key to the liturgy. The Mass is something so rich, so beautiful, but unfortunately a lot of our people, and a lot of priests even, especially the priests who discover the traditional Mass, do not know all the meanings of the various gestures, actions, words even of the Holy Mass. Whenever we speak about the Mass, we have to remember we are speaking of a sacred sign. We are speaking of symbols. We are entering the world of sacraments. Baptism, confession, confirmation, extreme unction, all the 7 sacraments. All of 7 are signs. And so these are very important notions to keep in mind. Every detail has a reason. And I would like to help you to understand many aspects. I have given you out this sheet of papers with different notions. We will go through this paper together. It's better than a blackboard. We could have it also a PowerPoint, but you have the paper there, so we will look at it and I will comment on this. Take the first side, the notion of sighing. The notion of sighing for a better understanding of the sacraments. So a sacrament is an outward sign instituted by Christ to give grace. An outward sign instituted by Christ to give grace. You have to understand, whenever we speak of the sacraments, we're speaking of God giving His life, giving His grace to us through things, external things. And God does that only for us humans. Angels don't have sacraments. You cannot baptize an angel. It'd be hard to tell him, well, put your head here. Where's the head? An angel does not have a body. We cannot baptize a dog, a cat, a bird. They don't have a soul. The only creatures that can use sacraments, the only creatures for whom sacraments are made are us, the humans, because we have a body and a soul. That is fundamental. Actually, these 2 elements, a physical element and a spiritual element, is our nature. We communicate through signs. We speak. I'm speaking in English to you, which is it's a language. Every language uses sign. I could speak French, or if I knew it, we could speak Chinese, if you knew it also. But if you don't know the meaning of these sounds, you don't know what I'm saying. Words are sounds, or if they're written, written words are it's a physical, it can be visual or audible sign. So we use signs for the road. We use signs for everything in human life because we have these two elements. We are composed of a body and a soul. And that question in the catechism, it's usually one of the first questions in our catechism. What is a man? Man is a creature composed of a body and a soul. In every organization, at work, in a family, in the army, in politics. There's signs. You shake hand, that is a sign. You give a kiss, that is a sign. It can be a sign of love, or it can be a sign of treason. The kiss of Judas. These are signs. So these external things convey a meaning. That's the key to the sacraments. And because we transpose that, which is part of our human life, which is our nature of using physical things, visible things, things that correspond to our senses to communicate a thought. If we were angels, the conference would be over. Maybe you'd be happier, you can go home quicker, because I would put my thoughts into your mind. I would not have to talk. It would be like telepathy. It would be from mind to mind. There would be no talking on my part, listening on your part, abstracting, try to understand what I'm saying on your part, so that my thoughts go from my mind through my mouth, through your ears, to your mind. That's the process of communicating thoughts. I can write it also on a piece of paper, so then it's through your eyes. But you need to abstract, because the dog can also see the piece of paper. Or the baby will probably chew it, okay? But, so it does not understand these signs. So, first point, on this page here, okay? The notion of sign. A general definition of a sign is something which leads to the knowledge of something else. That is a sign. A signpost, an arrow, a red light, a word, whatever, okay? A sign. So smoke is a sign of fire. The sound of a whistle is a sign of the train's departure whenever they blow the whistle, and sometimes they don't, okay? So a sign, and what we're doing in this, the first part of this conference, is also a little bit of philosophy. It helps you to understand how in proper philosophy, how we look at things. So if you have a stop sign, a red octagonal sign, and it's written stop on it, okay, you've learned how to read, you've learned the meaning of that sign. So when you're arriving there with your car, you slow down and you stop. Because that sign conveys the meaning, stop, look on both sides, and then proceed. So, but you can look at the sign as well if you are if you work on a hardware, or you're in a factory, you're the one making the stop signs. You see the stop sign rusted, or the paint is flaking off, or the letters are erased, or somebody shot the sign with their guns. We see that in some places, farming areas, where the boys learn how to shoot. They shoot stop signs, full of holes. So you can look at the stop sign, or you're the one installing the stop sign. Well, this one is damaged. I need to replace it. So you can look at it as a thing, because you're the one making it, and you're the one making the metal, or this metal is cheap, or it's broken, or whatever. We need to fix it. So that's what we call materially. You can look at the sign materially, and you can look at the sign for what it means. And in philosophy, then it falls into the notion of relation. A sign is related to a meaning. So there's the sign itself, can be a sound. It can be, St. Paul speaks of the sound of a trumpet. If in the army, if the sound of the trumpet is ambiguous, the soldiers won't know what to do. Are we supposed to move? Are we supposed to turn right? Or are we supposed to stop? The sign has to be clear. Okay, so we can look at the sign, we say in philosophy, materially. itself, or what it means. And here, first application to the Mass, a lot of people go to Mass and look at the Mass without be going any further than what they see and what they hear. They see the color green, red, white, black, whatever. They see what the priest does at the altar, but they watch without thinking. Oh, that's the way the Mass is said. Okay, they don't think. They don't go beyond the sign. When I say materially, it does not mean just physical. As I say, it can be something visual. It can be audible. Okay? So, example, the color red can be simply a color red. You make paint, you sell paint, you're working on hardware, okay? So you're selling the red paint. So, as you see the stop sign and you look at the paint. So, and there you can also see, as I say, the sign, the red signifying here, the red is stop sign, or at Mass, the red is the color of the martyrs, the color of the Holy Ghost, the color of the precious blood. So we use red for these different meanings. Red might signify charity, might signify blood, and so on. It could signify communism as well. Communists use red on their flag. You see that in China, you see that in Vietnam, they have red flags. So, a sign, first notion, we can look at the sign as it is what it is, the thing or the sound or whatever, and as a relation to something else. A sign can be simple and signify many things, or it can be complex and signify one thing. Water can signify many things. It can signify you're thirsty, you're looking for, where can I find water? I'm dying of thirst. You can use water to put out a fire. Where's the water hydrant? You can use water to water your flowers or to wash your car. You're going to a garage, you want to clean your car. Where's the car wash? You're looking for water because your car is filthy dirty. You want to wash your car. So water, the sign of water can mean many things. And water can mean life as well. Okay? In the desert, you see water, you see a tree, there's water, there's life. It is an oasis because there's water. So, water can signify a number of things. The color red we mentioned a moment ago can signify many things. Opposite things, the supreme gift of charity and communism can signify all these things. The Holy Ghost and hell. The same color can signify both things. So, a sign can be simple and can be simple and signify many things. And a complex sign, a sign made with all kinds of things, a symphony, the Ninth Symphony of Beethoven, okay? So you have all these instruments playing this, the choir singing, signify the art of joy, okay? A certain joy, a certain peace. So the composer wants to convey one notion, happiness. And he's going to use these 50 instruments, a choir of 100 singers to convey one thing, happiness. The Mass is made of all kinds of things. There's vestments, there's movements, there's prayers, there's singing, there are things, there are cross and candles and cloths and steps, and all these things signify one thing, the sacrifice of Christ. So remember that. One sign can signify many things, and many things can signify one thing. Okay, it's complex. We could look at each part as signifying something. We'll look a little bit when we do the Mass. But overall, even if we are looking at the the different parts of the Mass. Overall, all these signs of the Mass point to one thing: the sacrifice of Christ. An identical sign can signify various things in various countries. A flag, that's a good, classical example, okay? The blue, white, and red, okay, in France signifies a revolution. Bleu, blanc, rouge, okay? In another country, it can signify something else. Blue can be the color of a royalty, okay? White, a good example is in China. White is the color of mourning. When it's a funeral, people wear white. And black is actually a festive color. You go to Chinese restaurants, all the waiters are in black, okay? But for us, black is the color of death, or that's why we wear a black cassock, to show death to the world. And nuns and priests and monks often wear black because it signifies something. So you have to understand there is when we speak of signs, there are a number of aspects to look at it. Who made this sign? What is the purpose of this sign? And how do these people use this sign? And there's history, there's theology, there's philosophy, there's practical reasons. There can be all kinds of reasons.